Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wednesday's Get Unstuck series session. I am Sarah Archer. If you haven't joined me before, I'm a career and leadership coach, and I work with female leaders to help them create career success, which is what we're talking about today, without selling out or burning out. And the Get Unstuck series is designed to give you practical ideas, tips, tools, motivation, inspiration, whatever it is you need to not feel stuck in your career anymore, to be able to move forward and achieve what you want. So I cover a variety of topics, and I do love it if you have topics for me. So you can always message me and give me some ideas about things you'd like me to talk about. They're always kind of short, around 15 minutes. And as I said, there's always sort of practical things you can take away. If you're here with me live, please do say hello, give me a little wave, let me know you're here. And obviously, if you've got questions or comments about the session today, then obviously pop them in the chat and I will answer them as we're going along or at the end. And if you're watching on replay and you've got a question, just tag me in the comments and I will come back and answer this for you. So I'm going live on LinkedIn and on my YouTube channel. I'm normally live in my Facebook group too, but Facebook have just removed all third-party apps from groups, so I can't use StreamYard to go live in my Facebook group. So I'm going to have to think about a different way to catch people there. But certainly we're live on LinkedIn and YouTube. And today we're talking about 3 things you can do to give your career success a bit of a boost. So I've got a lot of questions for you today, but will hopefully help you get clearer about maybe what it is you need to boost. So the first question for you really is, are you where you want to be in your career? So are you kind of at the level that you want to be at? Are you still searching for something more? What is going on in your career? Because obviously you've signed up today to get some ideas about how to boost your career success. So it might be that you're not quite where you want to be yet, or your current job isn't giving you what you need, or you just want to enhance your existing position. So just let me know in the comments if you are watching live, are you where you want to be? Just give me a yes or a no. And what I'm going to encourage you to think about before we get on to the 3 things you can do to boost your career success is to just do a career success audit. And this is something I do with my clients sometimes. We just do a kind of check-in around the kind of areas that make up career success. And obviously this is not an exhaustive list, but it has got a few areas to kind of think about. And what you can do if you're watching this with me now is just do a kind of mental check-in of yes, no, when I cover the different areas, and that will hopefully help you see, where do I need to put my focus, where do I need to put my energy. So the career success audit, the first thing is to check in, are you happy? So does your current job, does your current career bring you happiness? Because sometimes we can think, right, well, when I'm successful, when I've achieved that particular goal or that particular level in my career, then that will bring me happiness. And actually what the research shows, and it's a bit of a no-brainer, is to be successful, we need to be happy in what we do. Because if you're happy doing what you're doing, you're more likely to be successful, aren't you? Because you're going to be radiating energy, you're going to be really enjoying what you're doing, you're going to be resilient, you're going to be motivating and inspiring to other people, you're going to be naturally more successful. So if you're feeling unhappy at the moment, that is not contributing to your success levels in your career. So there's something to think about there in terms of what maybe is missing for you that normally would bring you happiness. The second thing on the career success audit is, am I visible enough? So do the senior team, do the board, do the senior leadership team know me? Am I talking about my achievements? Do I seek opportunities to be seen? Okay, so just thinking about your visibility levels, because obviously there's a correlation between how visible you are and your career success in terms of opportunities you might be enabled to access. This third area is, am I proactive enough? So am I seeking chances to learn and to grow? Am I pushing for new opportunities? Or am I pushing to get the achievements that I want? So are you being proactive in your career, or are you kind of coasting along a little bit on autopilot. So I've got something in my eye. The fourth area in our career success audit is, do I have a strong personal brand? Okay, so what do I want to be known for? What would my peers, my team, my boss say about me? How do people experience me when they work with me? So do I have a strong personal brand? Then, and this could be linked to your brand, am I somebody who delivers? So do I get things done, or am I a bit of a procrastinator? And remember, we're just doing a kind of check-in to notice where maybe you want to make some adjustments in terms of getting the career success that you want. The next area, and there's only a few more, don't worry, I'm not going to be going on with loads of questions, is what's my leadership style? And is my leadership style enabled by the organizational culture? So am I allowed to be the kind of leader I want to be? Do I even know what my leadership style is, by the organization? Then our penultimate question is, am I strategy, big picture kind of person, or do I prefer operational hands-on work? Because that, if you're kind of at a pivotal, it's not even a word, pivotal point in your career, it might be that you're thinking about, maybe I should go for that more kind of strategic role. But actually, if your heart is in, I'm a real doer and I love delivery, then that's going to influence your choice of roles and your choice of success. So thinking about that. And then also a really important question is, how motivated am I towards the next logical level or step in my career? So the next logical step in my career, do I want it, or do I feel I should go for it? So, because often we feel like there's only one way to get the status success, and that's to climb the kind of management ladder. But there could be other ways. Well, there definitely are other ways of getting career success. So are you motivated by getting that next logical level, which might be moving up in your career, or actually, do I only feel like I should do it, and actually I'm wanting something more, which might have emerged from some of the other questions. So hopefully that's given you some food to think about in terms of what's going on around your kind of career success. Where do you need to kind of make some adjustments, make some changes, and given you a bit of a clearer picture about where you might want to focus. And I'm going to give you now 3 things that you can do just to give your sort of success a boost. And I wouldn't suggest doing all of these 3 things, but choosing the one that is going to be most helpful to you. And these things will help you, whatever level you're at in your career, wherever you're seeking to go next. So the first one would be to think about enhancing your communication style. So we all have communication preferences. So really understanding your own preference can be super helpful then being a more effective communicator to other people. So you can start to think about, how do you like to give and receive information? So you could either reflect on what annoys you when somebody else is giving you information, or you could think about what you respond really well to when someone else is giving you information. So, do you like getting sort of short, focused, bite-sized pieces of information, or do you like lots and lots of detail? Do you like planned time for discussions, or do you like sort of spontaneous, creative get-togethers? Do you like to kind of have feelings and emotions part of that communication, or do you prefer kind of facts and evidence? Do you like written or verbal communication? So just kind of really understanding your own preferences can really be super helpful, because then you can start to notice other people's preferences. So, does your boss or your peer, glaze over when you're starting to talk about lots of detail? Do they not respond well to feelings and emotions? So, being able to kind of understand other people's communication preferences can help you tailor yours to make sure you're getting your voice heard, and to make sure that you're having the impact and influence that you want to have. So I'll give you a little example of this. So it's not about being inauthentic and changing how you communicate. It's just being able to mix and match to get the kind of impact and influence that you want. So when I worked as a HR manager, the senior leadership team I worked with, if you were kind of looking at them from a Myers-Briggs point of view, they would all have been T's. So they'd all have been kind of thinkers. So they responded to logic, evidence, facts. Now, I'm an F on Myers-Briggs, so I make decisions by their relational decisions. I think about how they're going to affect people. So, and obviously I was in HR. So I'd go to the senior leadership team with my ideas about change or initiatives, and I'd always be talking to them about the kind of the right thing to do for the people, how it would impact people, what a difference it would make on a people front. And I just wasn't getting anywhere with them. So what I sort of learned was actually I needed to not completely not talk about the people aspect, because that was important to me, but bring in the evidence, the hard facts, the research to support my rationale for that change initiative. So I wasn't getting rid of my authentic style. I was enhancing it and it made me a better communicator by bringing in a balance that they could respond to that enabled them to say yes to what I wanted. So just being able to kind of think about your preferences and how that might then translate for other people, you can even ask them what's their preference, can just make sure you're an effective communicator and can give your career success a bit of a boost because you're going to be more effective. So the second thing that could boost your career success is to develop a problem-solving attitude. So you could just reflect, how do you respond to problems? Do you see them as a challenge and you're quite excited about problems? Or do you feel quite deflated by problems and feel like, oh God, how am I going to deal with this? Now, obviously, if it's the latter, then there might be some mindset work that you need to do around being more solution focused, because with your direct reports, if they come to you with a problem and a solution, you're going to respond much more positively to them than if they just bring you the problem. So obviously this can help you throughout your career. Now, you might already feel you are a problem solver and you're quite solution focused. So an extension you could do then is to think about how you could encourage that amongst your team or amongst your peers, because that's going to bring value to the business by really encouraging a solution-focused culture within your team or your department. So another example, when I was head of HR, I had an HR BP, human resources business partner, who was not that confident. And so she would come to me with problems. Now, I am a very solution-focused person, so it would be very easy for me to give her the solution that she needed. But actually, I really wanted her to be, from her development point of view, be able to kind of bring me solutions that we could discuss, and it would just be a more satisfying discussion as well. So I really had to work hard myself at just kind of opening it up for her and encouraging her to think about different ways she could solve the problem. And obviously that then added value to the business because it was freeing my time up. I wasn't getting bogged down in her problems, and it was enable her to be more effective in the business, working with managers on the solutions that were going to work for them. And the final thing to think about is developing your own PR plan. Okay, so it's not just celebs who need a PR plan. We all need a PR plan, but it's just being strategic about your profile. And it goes back to some of those questions in the success audit around your brand, your leadership style. You're talking about your achievements, being proactive. So it's thinking about, what do I want to achieve through raising my profile in some way in the business? Do I want to be seen as more of an expert? I want to be that go-to person. Do I want to, position myself for promotion or some new opportunities? Or do I want to just get a bit more comfortable with being in the spotlight and just getting used to having that opportunity to shine, maybe as somebody who's maybe shied away from that a little bit. So then kind of making a plan and not doing everything, but looking for opportunities where you can maybe speak if that's something you want to do. Maybe that's internally or externally, or maybe you can present to the senior leadership team or the board if you haven't had much experience or much exposure with that. Maybe you want to be authoring reports that can be read by the business, or maybe in your industry, maybe doing some white papers. Maybe you want to contribute to your company's website in some way. And obviously networking events is another way of thinking about raising your profile, but doing it in a strategic way, thinking about how it links to your career success, what it's going to give you, and then having a contained plan that's not going to take up too much of your time, because you've still got to do your day job. But hopefully you can see with these 3 areas, they can help you boost your career success in different ways. And like I said, it's just choosing maybe one to focus on initially. So just to kind of recap, so thinking about just running through that career success audit and just working out where you need to focus, and then thinking about these 3 kind of easy things that you can do. You're probably doing a lot of it already, but it's just maybe enhancing it a little bit to increase your communication style and effectiveness, to develop a problem-solving approach, either for yourself or within your team, and also developing your own PR plan. Now, obviously, if you need support with these areas, or you want to dive into the success audit in more detail, then obviously, let me know. We can have a call to talk about how that could work for you. And also, I do have, and I will put a link for this in the comments, I do have a guide to establishing or creating a powerful presence at work for female leaders. So if you want to have more impact and influence, and you want to have more presence, more executive presence at work, then I've just developed this free guide. So I'll pop that link in the chat too, and you can sign up to get that guide, and hopefully that will help you as well in terms of your career success. So have a great week. I'll be back next Wednesday at 12:15, and the topic next Wednesday will be around career confidence. So it's about how to stop self-sabotaging at work. So if you know you're somebody who can maybe hold yourself back, maybe around some of the areas we've talked about today, then please do join me next Wednesday at 12:15. So yeah, have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you next week.